I should have known better than to show up. The moment I walked through my parents' front door, my sister Emma smirked. "Oh good, the entrepreneur is here. How's your little app doing, Sarah?" "It's going well," I said quietly, setting down the wine I'd brought. Dad was already 3 drinks in. He looked me up and down, jeans and a sweater, nothing fancy, and shook his head. "Still dressing like a college student at 32. When are you going to grow up?" "I am grown up, Dad." Could have fooled me. He gestured toward the living room where my brother-in-law Marcus was watching football with my brother Jake. Marcus just made VP at Microsoft. Jake's closing deals at his firm. Emma's an attorney. And you're still, what? Playing with computers in your apartment. "I have an office actually." Mom emerged from the kitchen, wiping her hands on her apron. "Sarah, honey, we've been meaning to talk to you about this. Your father and I are worried. You're 32 years old. No steady job. No benefits. What's your plan for retirement? Health insurance?" "I have both of those things." "Through what?" "Your little app." Dad laughed, and it wasn't kind. "Come on. Be realistic. How much are you actually making?" I could have told them. I could have said that my little app generated $47 million in revenue last year. That I employed 340 people across 3 offices. That Forbes had called me one of the most promising young CEOs in cybersecurity. But I didn't. Because 7 years ago, when I first started building SecureNet, Dad had called it a waste of time. When I got my first round of funding, $2 million from a VC firm, he told me I was playing with monopoly money that would disappear. When I hired my 10th employee, Mom asked when I was going to get serious and look for a real job. So I'd stopped telling them things. I'd stopped inviting them to product launches. Stopped mentioning media coverage. Stopped trying to prove myself to people who'd already decided I was a failure. "I'm doing fine, Dad." "Fine." He snorted. "You know what fine means? It means barely scraping by. It means pretending everything's okay when it's not." Emma set down her wine glass. "Sarah, we're not trying to be mean. We're concerned. You've been doing this app thing for what, 7 years? And you're still living in that tiny apartment in Austin. You drive a 10-year-old Honda. You never go on vacation. I like my apartment. My car works. And I'm busy." "Busy playing Sue," Dad said. "That's the problem. You're so busy pretending to run a company that you can't see reality. Your app isn't real. It's a hobby that got out of hand." Jake wandered in, beer in hand. "What did I miss?" "Just talking about Sarah's imaginary empire," Dad said, and everyone laughed. Everyone except Marcus. Marcus worked in Microsoft's enterprise security division. He'd been quiet all evening, and now he was staring at me with an odd expression. But he didn't say anything. "You know what hurts the most?" Mom said, her voice going soft in that way that was somehow worse than anger. "When people ask me what my daughter does, I have to make something up. I tell them you're in tech. I can't say you're pretending to be a CEO of a fake company. It's not fake." "Then why haven't we seen anything?" Emma demanded. "No office. No employees we've met. No proof whatsoever. For all we know, you're sitting in your apartment playing on your laptop all day." "I have an office. I have employees." "Sure you do." Dad stood up, swaying slightly. "You know what I think? I think you're embarrassed. I think this whole thing collapsed and you're too proud to admit it. That's why you won't show us anything. That's why you're always too busy to visit. You're hiding." "I'm not hiding." "Then prove it. Show us your office. Introduce us to your employees. Show us one shred of evidence that this app company actually exists." I stood there holding my wine glass, feeling 7 years of dismissal pressing down on me. I could have pulled out my phone. Shown them the Bloomberg article from 3 months ago about SecureNet's explosive growth. Shown them my LinkedIn with 47,000 followers. Shown them anything. I was tired. "I don't need to prove anything to you." "Because you can't," Jake said. "Come on, Sarah. Just admit it. The app thing didn't work out. It's not your fault. Most startups fail. But you need to move on. Get a real job. It's embarrassing watching you cling to this fantasy." "My career isn't a fantasy." "Stop playing Sue," Dad laughed, saying it like a punchline. "That's what you need to hear. Stop playing. Stop pretending. Stop wasting your life on something that isn't real." "Your app isn't real," Mom added. "And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can build an actual career." I looked around the room. At my father, drunk and dismissive. At my mother, embarrassed by my existence. At my siblings, smirking like they'd won something. At Marcus, who still hadn't said a word, just watching me with that strange expression. I need to go. Oh, come on, Emma said. Don't be dramatic. We're just being honest. You're being cruel. We're being realistic, Dad said. Someone has to tell you the truth. Your app isn't real. Your company isn't real. And it's time to stop playing make-believe and join the real world. I set down my wine glass very carefully. Happy Thanksgiving. I walked out. Behind me I heard Mom say, she's so sensitive. We're just trying to help. I got in my 10-year-old Honda, paid off no debt, but they didn't know that, and drove back to my tiny apartment in Austin. The one I kept because I liked the neighborhood and saw no reason to move. The one that cost $2,400 a month but could have cost $10,000 and I wouldn't have blinked. I didn't cry. I'd stopped crying about my family 3 years ago. Instead, I called my CFO Jennifer. How was Thanksgiving? She asked. Dad told me to stop playing CEO. Said my app isn't real. Long pause. Do they not have Google? Your face has been in Forbes twice. They don't look. They decided 7 years ago that I was a failure, and nothing's going to change their minds. When's the Microsoft announcement? I checked my watch. 14 hours. Oh, Jennifer said softly. Oh no. Oh yes. Sarah, Marcus is going to. I know. Your dad is going to. I know. This is going to be. I know. Another pause. Are you okay? I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror. 32 years old. Built a $180 million company from nothing. About to close the biggest acquisition in cybersecurity history. And my family thought I was unemployed. I'm fine. See you Monday. I hung up and went inside my tiny apartment. 2,400 square feet, 2 bedrooms, corner unit with a balcony overlooking the city. I'd bought the entire building 2 years ago. My family didn't know that either. I poured myself a real drink and waited for morning. Bloomberg published at 6:47 a.m. Eastern. Microsoft acquires SecureNet for $180 million in cash. Deal marks tech giant's largest cybersecurity acquisition this year. Sarah Chin, 32, will join Microsoft as VP of Enterprise Security. My phone started ringing at 6:51 a.m. Jennifer, it's live. My head of PR, David, 23 media requests already. My lead investor, Catherine. Congratulations. This is extraordinary. I made coffee and watched my phone light up with notifications. Text messages from employees. Emails from reporters. LinkedIn blowing up with congratulations. At 7:14 a.m. my brother-in-law Marcus called. I answered. Sarah. His voice was shaking. Sarah, I need to, is this? Good morning, Marcus. I work in enterprise security. I saw the announcement. I saw your name. I saw your face. I've been in meetings about this acquisition for 6 weeks and I didn't. Your last name is Chen, but there are a million Chens and I never thought. Sarah, are you the Sarah Chen? Yes. SecureNet. You're the CEO of SecureNet. I was. Now I'm your new VP. Oh my God. Long pause. Oh my God. Last night. Thanksgiving. Your dad. He said we all said. I remember what you said. Sarah, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. If I'd known I would have. Would have what? Defended me? Told them the truth. Silence. You knew something was off, I said quietly. I saw your face last night. You suspected. But you said nothing. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe, but your family was so certain you were. A failure. Unemployed. Playing pretend. I'm so sorry. Are you calling to apologize or to warn me? What? Marcus, you've been in meetings about this acquisition. You know the details. You know I'm about to be your boss. You know the press release went live 15 minutes ago. So I'll ask again. Are you calling to apologize or to warn me that my family is about to find out? His breath caught. I called your dad. 10 minutes ago. He's not picking up. Neither is your mom. Sarah, when they see this. I know. Your dad said your app wasn't real. He said you were playing pretend. He told you to get a real job. He did. This is a $180 million acquisition. It is. Sarah, your entire family will realize they've been wrong about me for 7 years. Yes, I'm aware. What are you going to do? Nothing. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to help Microsoft integrate SecureNet. I'm going to manage my new team. What happens with my family is their problem now, not mine. They're going to call you. Probably. What will you say? I thought about that. Thought about 7 years of dismissal. 7 years of mockery. 7 years of being treated like an embarrassment. I don't know yet. At 7:43 a.m. my dad called. I let it go to voicemail. He called again at 7:46 a.m. and 7:52 a.m. and 8:03 a.m. At 8:15 a.m. he left a voicemail. I played it on speaker while I made breakfast. Sarah, I just call me back. Right now. Call me back immediately. Mom called at 8:21 a.m. I didn't answer. Emma called at 8:34 a.m. Jake called at 8:47 a.m. By 9 a.m. I had 17 missed calls and 12 voicemails. I listened to them while I ate breakfast. Mom, Sarah, honey, I saw the news. Is this real? Call me. Emma, holy shit, Sarah. Holy shit. Call me right now. Jake. Okay, so apparently you're a millionaire CO? What the fuck? Call me. Dad again. Sarah Marie Chin. Pick up the phone. We need to talk about this. About what I said last night. I didn't. Just call me. Marcus, your dad is losing his mind. Your mom is crying. Emma is hyperventilating. Jake keeps saying what the fuck over and over. Sarah, please, you need to call them. I deleted all of them and went for a run. My family group chat had exploded. I scrolled through it during my cool-down walk. Dad, 7:51 a.m. Sarah, call me. Mom, 7:53 a.m. Sarah, please call us immediately. Emma, 8:02 a.m. Sarah, what the actual fuck? Jake, 8:15 a.m. Did you actually sell your company to Microsoft for $180 million? Emma, 8:17 a.m. Bloomberg says you're joining as VP. Emma, 8:18 a.m. Forbes called you a rising star in cybersecurity. Jake, 8:19 a.m. There are articles about you. Jake, 8:20 a.m. Like a lot of articles. Mom, 8:23 a.m. Sweetheart, we need to talk about this. Dad, 8:34 a.m. Sarah, this isn't funny. Answer your phone. Emma, 8:41 a.m. I just found your LinkedIn. 47,000 followers? Emma, 8:42 a.m. You've been on CNBC? Jake, 8:45 a.m. There's a TechCrunch article from 6 months ago calling you a cybersecurity visionary. Marcus, 8:51 a.m. She's not answering anyone. Dad, 9:03 a.m. Sarah Marie Chin, call me right now. Mom, 9:07 a.m. We're all very confused and we need to talk to you. Emma, 9:12 a.m. Wait, did she build SecureNet? She didn't just work there? Jake, 9:15 a.m. She founded it 7 years ago. Jake, 9:16 a.m. She's been the CEO the entire time. Emma, 9:18 a.m. So when we were making fun of her little app. Jake, 9:19 a.m. It was a $180 million company. Marcus, 9:24 a.m. I've been in meetings about SecureNet for 6 weeks. It's the most sophisticated enterprise security platform in the industry. Everyone at Microsoft is excited about this acquisition. Dad, 9:31 a.m. Marcus, why didn't you tell us? Marcus, 9:33 a.m. I didn't know it was Sarah's company. She never told us the name. You guys were so certain she was failing that I never made the connection. Mom, 9:41 a.m. Sarah, please call us. We need to understand what's happening. Dad, 9:52 a.m. We're coming to Austin. I stared at that last message for a long time. Then I typed, don't. The chat went silent for 30 seconds. Dad, 9:54 a.m. What do you mean don't? Me, 9:55 a.m. I mean don't come to Austin. I don't want to see you. Mom, 9:56 a.m. Sarah, you're being unreasonable. Me, 9:56 a.m. Am I? Emma, 9:57 a.m. Sarah, we didn't know. Me, 9:57 a.m. You didn't ask. Jake, 9:58 a.m. You never told us. Me, 9:59 a.m. I stopped telling you anything 3 years ago when you made it clear you thought I was a failure. Remember Emma's birthday? When you introduced me to your friends as my sister who's still figuring things out? Emma, 10:01 a.m. I didn't mean it like that. Me, 10:02 a.m. or Jake's promotion dinner. When you told everyone I was between jobs? Jake, 10:03 a.m. You never corrected me. Me, 10:04 a.m. because you'd already decided who I was. And nothing I said would have changed your minds. Dad, 10:06 a.m. Sarah, we made a mistake. We're sorry. But you need to understand. Me, 10:07 a.m. I need to understand what? That you spent 7 years mocking me? Calling my company fake? Telling me to stop playing pretend? Telling Mom's friends I was unemployed? Asking when I'd get a real job? Mom, 10:09 a.m. we thought we were helping. Me, 10:10 a.m. by calling me an embarrassment? That's helping. Dad, 10:12 a.m. I never said that. Me, 10:13 a.m. last night. When people ask what my daughter does, I have to make something up. Those were your words, Mom. Me, 10:14 a.m. your app isn't real. Your words, Dad. Me, 10:15 a.m. stop playing suit. Also you, Dad. Dad, 10:18 a.m. I was wrong. I admit it. I'm sorry. Me, 10:19 a.m. you're sorry you were wrong. Not sorry you were cruel. Emma, 10:21 a.m. Sarah, please. We want to celebrate with you. This is amazing. You should be happy. Me, 10:22 a.m. I am happy. I'm celebrating with people who believed in me. My team. My investors. My friends. People who didn't need a Bloomberg announcement to think I was worth something. Jake, 10:25 a.m. that's not fair. Me, 10:26 a.m. isn't it? Marcus, 10:28 a.m. Sarah. I know I don't have the right to say this, but your family loves you. They made a mistake. Big mistake. But they're trying. Me, 10:31 a.m. Marcus, you're joining Microsoft's Enterprise Security Division, right? Marcus, 10:32 a.m. yes? Me, 10:33 a.m. I'm your new VP. We'll be working together. I'm looking forward to it. You're talented and I respect your work. Marcus, 10:35 a.m. thank you. Me, 10:36 a.m. but regarding my family. I'm not interested in a reconciliation that only happened because Bloomberg forced you to see reality. I'm not interested in apologies that come from embarrassment rather than genuine remorse. Mom, 10:39 a.m. Sarah, that's not fair. We're your family. Me, 10:41 a.m. then act like it. For 7 years you treated me like a failure. Like an embarrassment. Like someone to mock and dismiss and pity. I built a company that 340 people depend on for their livelihoods. I created technology that protects millions of users. I did something that matters. And you couldn't see it because you'd already decided I was worthless. Dad, 10:45 a.m. we never said you were worthless. Me, 10:46 a.m. you said my company was fake. You said I was playing pretend. You said I needed to join the real world. What's the difference? Emma, 10:49 a.m. we just wanted you to be stable. Me, 10:51 a.m. I've been stable for 5 years. I have excellent health insurance, retirement plan, more savings than any of you. I own my building. I own 3 rental properties. I've been stable the entire time you were pitying me. Jake, 10:54 a.m. you own your building? Me, 10:55 a.m. and you never asked. Because you'd already decided I was broke. Mom, 10:58 a.m. how are we supposed to know? Me, 10:59 a.m. by asking. By listening. By treating me like an adult instead of a child who needed to be corrected and fixed and saved from herself. Dad, 11:03 a.m. what do you want from us? I stared at that message for a long time. What did I want? An apology that meant something? Time to process 7 years of dismissal? Space to enjoy my success without them trying to claim credit or celebration they hadn't earned. Me, 11:12 a.m. I want you to understand that actions have consequences. You spent 7 years making me feel small. Making me question myself. Making me feel like I had to prove my worth to my own family. And the worst part? I almost started believing you. 3 years ago, I had a panic attack before a major presentation because Dad's voice in my head kept saying your app isn't real. I had to go to therapy to undo the damage you caused. Mom, 11:15 a.m. oh sweetheart. Me, 11:16 a.m. Don't do that. Don't sweetheart me now that you know I'm successful. Where was that gentleness when you needed it? When I was working 90-hour weeks to build something real. When I was scared and exhausted and fighting to keep my company alive. You weren't there. You were busy being embarrassed by me. Emma, 11:19 a.m. we love you. Me, 11:20 a.m. you love the idea of me. The version of me that fits your expectations. The Sarah who makes you proud. But you didn't love the Sarah who was building something. The Sarah who was scared and uncertain but trying anyway. That Sarah embarrassed you. Dad, 11:24 a.m. that's not true. Me, 11:25 a.m. isn't it? Tell me, Dad, when was the last time you asked me about my work? When was the last time you asked me anything beyond, when are you going to get a real job? No response. Me, 11:29 a.m. That's what I thought. Marcus, 11:32 a.m. Sarah, what can they do? What would make this right? Me, 11:35 a.m. Nothing. That's the point. Some things can't be fixed with an apology. Some damage is permanent. You can't spend 7 years telling someone they're a failure and then expect them to forgive you the moment you realize you were wrong. Jake, 11:39 a.m. So that's it? You're just done with us? Me, 11:41 a.m. I don't know. I need time. I need space. I need to process the fact that my own family thought so little of me that a Bloomberg announcement was the only thing that could change your minds. Mom, 11:44 a.m. Please don't shut us out. Me, 11:46 a.m. You shut me out first. For 7 years. Now you know how it feels. I muted the group chat and put my phone away. The media coverage was relentless. TechCrunch ran a feature, How Sarah Chin Built SecureNet in Silence. Forbes published, The CEO Who Didn't Need Validation, Sarah Chen's Quiet Empire. CNBC interviewed me about the acquisition and the host asked about my family. I smiled politely and said, I prefer to keep my personal life private. My family kept calling. I didn't answer. Instead, I threw myself into the Microsoft transition. Meetings with their executive team. Integration planning for my 340 employees. Strategy sessions for the future of enterprise security. Marcus was professional and respectful. He never brought up Thanksgiving. He worked hard, contributed good ideas, and treated me with the deference my position deserved. 2 weeks after the announcement, he caught me after a meeting. Sarah, can I talk to you? Not as colleagues. As family. We're not family, Marcus. You're married to my sister. That's not the same thing. Fair enough. Can I talk to you anyway? I sighed. 5 minutes. We walked to the coffee shop downstairs from Microsoft's Austin office. Marcus bought 2 lattes. We sat in the corner. Your family is falling apart, he said quietly. That's not my problem. Emma cries every night. She's convinced she's lost you forever. Your parents fight constantly, blaming each other for what happened. Jake keeps calling me asking how to fix this. And you think I should help them? I think you should know the impact this is having. Marcus, do you know what impact they had on me? Do you know how many therapy sessions I've had to process the way my own family treated me? Do you know what it's like to build something extraordinary while your parents tell everyone you're unemployed? No, I don't. And I'm not defending them. What they did was cruel and wrong. But Sarah, they're destroyed. They know they made a mistake. They know they look bad. That's not the same thing. He nodded slowly. You're right. But for what it's worth, I think Emma genuinely understands what she did. She showed me texts from 3 years ago where she called you the family embarrassment. She's mortified. She should be. She is. He's in therapy too now. She's trying to understand why she was so cruel to someone she loves. I stirred my latte saying nothing. I'm not asking you to forgive them, Marcus said. I'm not asking you to reconcile. I'm just asking you to know that they're trying. In their own broken way, they're trying. Trying to make themselves feel better, maybe. Probably. But also trying to understand. Your dad has been reading every article about you. Your mom bought a book about women in tech. Jake enrolled in an online course about cybersecurity. They're trying to understand what they missed. 7 years too late. Yes. But better late than never. I looked at him. You stood there on Thanksgiving and watched them mock me. You said nothing. Why? He flinched. Because I'm a coward. Because I wanted to believe them. Because it was easier than standing up to your father. Because I didn't know for sure and I didn't want to look stupid if I was wrong. Pick a reason. They're all true and they're all pathetic. At least you're honest. I'm trying to be better. Emma is trying to be better. Your whole family is trying to be better. But they can't do that without you eventually letting them try. Eventually, I said. Not now. When? I don't know. When I'm ready. When I've processed this. When I can look at them without feeling 7 years of dismissal crushing my chest. When their apologies come from genuine remorse instead of embarrassment. When I believe they've actually changed. Marcus nodded. That's fair. Is it? Because it doesn't feel fair. Feels like I'm being punished for their mistakes. Like I have to do the work of forgiving them when they're the ones who hurt me. You don't have to forgive them. Then why are you here? Because I care about you. Because you're brilliant and talented and you deserve better than what your family gave you. And because I think you're right to take your time, but I also think you should know they're trying. I finished my lot. Thanks for the coffee, Marcus. I'll see you in the integration meeting tomorrow. Sarah. 5 minutes are up. He nodded and left. I sat there for another 20 minutes staring at my phone. 43 unread messages from my family. I opened one from Emma. Emma, I found a video of you giving a keynote at a security conference 2 years ago. You were brilliant, confident, funny. Everything I never saw because I was too busy judging you. I'm so sorry I didn't ask to see this side of you. I'm so sorry I decided who you were instead of learning who you'd become. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I understand if you never want to speak to me again. I closed the message without responding. The Microsoft integration was complete. SecureNet's technology was now powering enterprise security for 200,000 businesses worldwide. My team was thriving. My career was exactly where I wanted it to be. My family was still texting. Not every day. Not begging anymore. Just quiet messages of support. Mom, saw you on CNBC today. You were wonderful. Dad, read your interview in the Wall Street Journal. Very impressed. Emma, your team posted about winning an industry award. Congratulations. Jake, found an article about SecureNet's impact on healthcare security. You're saving lives. That's incredible. I didn't respond to most of them, but I read them. And slowly, very slowly, the anger started to fade. Not forgiveness. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But something softer. Something like understanding. They'd been wrong. Cruel. Dismissive. Small-minded. But they were also human. Flawed. Capable of growth. And maybe, eventually, worthy of a second chance. But not today. Today I had a company to run. A team to lead. A career to build. Today I was exactly who I'd always been. Sarah Chin, CEO, founder, visionary. Not because my family finally saw it, but because I'd always known it was true. And that, in the end, was the only validation I needed. 6 months after the Bloomberg announcement, I got a letter in the mail. Handwritten. From my father. I almost threw it away. But curiosity won. Dear Sarah, I've written this letter 47 times. I keep starting over because nothing feels adequate. Nothing captures the magnitude of my mistake. I didn't see you. For 7 years I looked at you and saw failure. I saw embarrassment. I saw someone who needed to be fixed. I never saw brilliance, vision, courage, determination. I never saw my daughter building an empire while I told her to get a real job. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know that I see you now. I see what you built. I see what you accomplished. I see the strength it took to keep going when your own family doubted you. I see you, Sarah. Finally. Truly. Completely. And I'm so desperately sorry it took a Bloomberg announcement to open my eyes. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I understand if that means nothing anymore. That. I folded the letter carefully. Put it in my desk drawer. And got back to work. Maybe someday I'd respond. Maybe someday I'd forgive. But today, I had a meeting with the Microsoft board. Today I had presentations to give and decisions to make and a future to build. Today I was too busy being exactly who I'd always been. Surgeon. Founder. Success. Not despite my family's doubt. But because I'd learned to believe in myself when no one else would. And that, I realized as I walked into the boardroom, was the greatest victory of all.